Hi, so I'm going to be talking about Islam and its women followers and how Islam and women are affected in their culture and how it affects the Persepolis and the women in Persepolis. What is Islam? Islam is the religion of Muslims, and they see as Muhammad is seen as the prophet of Allah, which is God. Random facts is Islam means peace through the submission of God. The Quran is the sacred text of Islam, so it's like their Bible, and they follow what's called the 5 pillars of practice, and this has to be followed. What are the 5 pillars? Pillars are the Shahada, which is the creed, the Salat, which is prayer, Shawn, which is fasting, Haji, which is pilgrimage, and Zakat, which is almsgiving. So let's go more in detail with those. The Shahada is the person who accept they personally accept that Allah is the only God and that Muhammad is his messenger. There's no other gods, and that Muhammad is the true prophet. Salat is mandatory prayers performed 5 times a day. This determines the rhythm of the entire day. They have mosques that will start the call to prayer as people start moving to mosques and start their prayers. Zakat is giving part of your wealth as charity. It's the almsgiving, and it's giving away part of you. So if you're very rich, you give to the poor, and this is mandatory as well. Qiyam is fasting during the month of Ramadan. If you do not fast, you donate once again to the poor, and it's just to this is done so that those that have everything can see more of what the poor people have and what they struggle with. Haji is the pilgrimage to Mecca, which is home of Islam and is like the true birthplace. Now let's talk about women in Islam. In the Holy Quran, their Bible, men are the protectors and maintainers of women. The women are obedient to the husband. This is actual quote in the Quran, with translation, of course. 14% of women work in Iran, and women are constricted to home life and are seen as property to their husbands. So how does this link to Persepolis? So I'm going to go more in depth into that. Now, Persepolis has many issues with women and their oppression with marriage. The first one, which is seen as the biggest one, would be the veil. Now, for marriage specifically, the veil is a symbol of oppression that completely transforms her life and how she sees everyday life. She sees that as the oppression of women, and it illustrates how bad it is if rules are not followed. Like if the rules of the veil are not followed, and if part of the hair is showing, and she illustrates how bad this is and how badly women are treated if they do not follow these rules. Now, also another one with Islam and oppression to women, specifically to marriage, was the fact that the university was closed by the government. Now, the closing of the university completely shattered her dream of becoming a chemist, which she wanted to do from when she was very young. This shows how Islam has done to her chances as to become this powerful woman in this high Islamic culture. Another example would be of her independence. Now, Islam, oh wait, the photo's taking some of the writing, I apologize, but Islam ended all her independence and movement as is also seen by the arrest of her friend Niflu. Now, what happens is that her parents give her full freedom to do what she wants, and full freedom, full movement. So she dresses how she wants. She wears the veil and she shows some hair, and she doesn't cover herself, her wrists, and this is seen as a terrible act. So it is seen as this huge mistake and punishment, and she's punished dearly for it, as seen in the picture below as well. And she's treated very badly towards it. Now, wearing makeup, which is seen as a basic thing nowadays, in the Islamic culture, it is such a big deal, because wearing makeup symbolizes the opposition to the culture. It's seen completely different. It's westernized, and it's seen as such a bad thing, and it's frowned upon. And it's as you see, as women's lives were starting to feel imprisoned, making them a slave in their own culture of Islam, not being able to wear what they want, wear the makeup, and truly have what they need. Now, Marge's thoughts are quite simple in this fact, where Marge questions the disparity in the gender society, and the strict culture rules cause women to kill their dreams and desires of their lives. Marge is characterized as this outgoing person that wants to become a chemist. She's wants to become a prophet. She wants to be all these big things, but in her culture, her true needed job is to sit at home, uh, care for the husband, and be owned by a husband. Now, for a girl that is so independent and so proud of herself and wants to be all these big things, this is a problem because she can't in her culture. It's frowned upon, and she doesn't like this at all. She sees this as a negative thing, and she really does not like it, and she'll try whatever she does to go against this part of the culture. Now, conclusion, Persepolis shows Muslim women and their struggles for equality in like their culture of Islam, and as stated before. Now, Marge has her own inner conflict with this situation, where she has a dream of building an environment where Muslim women can have freedom to do what and wear what they want. Now, this states that Marge wants to be that person who changes this. She wants to be the prophet to bring equality to women in this very sexist, you can say sexist religion, due to the fact that women can't do what men do, and men can wear what they want, where women have to be covered head to toe. They can't wear ankles, they can't wear makeup, they can't show their hair, and she finds it as a negative thing, and she wants to be the one that changes that. In the book, she does what she can. She rebels against the culture. She pushes it away rather than helping other people. She runs away from it. But in the end, she starts to realize that she needs to embrace her culture, but also become this pillar of what women can do in their culture. She becomes She writes Persepolis, the book, in her art. She wants to become an artist, but she's also oppressed by that. The fact when she's younger, she's not allowed to draw men. She can't look at the men. She has to look away and imagine what the men would look like and draw them. And this is such a big inner conflict for her. And without having this Islamic culture in her, this never would have been as big as a problem as, say, if she was Christian, where there's a bit more equality, but not as much, but still there. And that is sort of the link to Islam and Persepolis and how they affect women that follow the culture, Islamic women. And that was my presentation. I hope you enjoyed.